Every pod you cast,
Every yarn you spin,
every episode that Gary's involved, I'll be casting broad.
with Tom and Matt.
Hello, new week, new me.
I'm Matt.
I'm Tom.
Hey. And this week we're going to be talking about Cops, or I guess, we kind of fucked up with that theme song because the episode name is going to be Cops, but the name of the band is
The Police.
The Police.
So, I don't know, 1.5, 6 a dozen, whatever that saying is.
Yeah, well, but they both mean the same thing, so that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm being particular with that. And before we get into it, we got our usual segment, and I believe
Gary, when we got in today into the studio, Gary was here early, which is already unusual for him. He's usually bloody late, dropping things on the way in, but he was here early. He was having a wee coffee and he had a wee smile on his face. Didn't you, Gary?
Pretty proud of himself. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I thought you did a pretty good job.
Oh, he's being bashful. Gary
What'd you do a good job at, mate?
Well, yeah.
Oh, well, bit of a sting.
Okay, I'll help you out, Gary. You man a few words today. He's a little bit shy. He was feeling a bit bad for throwing me under the bus last week. At the end of the episode there, he really turned on me. So he's coming early and he's put together a sting for Department of Corrections, which we haven't heard yet. So it's going to be interesting to see what he's done.
All right, well, let's get into it. Department of Corrections.
Hit that sting, Gary. Sting, hit it.
Yep.
I said it, I was wrong, and I apologize.
I'm sorry.
Nice. Very appropriate for this week, too.
Oh, you sound... That's all?
Well, yeah, it's good. It's good.
Come on, buddy. That's great.
yeah, okay. It's a good sting. Good sting.
A little Trump in there, a little feist.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's
Gary.
relevant to our times.
Gary, you did a good job, bud. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. And he's got one for the outro as well. So on to the segment itself. Not a lot to apologise for, just my general mood last week. Very boozy week. So when it came to the recording time, I was just running on V. So
Fair
it's
enough.
not good having that running through your veins. There's no lifeblood in that.
And personally, I regressed to the likes a bit last week, which I guess I'll try and tamp back down on. Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. I don't have much to apologise for. I'll be upfront and say I'm sort of like Tom this week. I was a bit of an earlier riser this morning, so going to have to try and keep my energies levels up, a little bit.
Okay, on that.
Tired, but yeah.
Should we roll on?
Yes.
Hit that sting, Gary.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Hey,
so that's
nice.
just the back half of the intro.
Yeah.
Maybe fix that up a little bit.
I think it's good.
Yeah, well, it's just the same
yeah.
thing again.
And then it's not really for you to decide whether let's not muddy the
dwell on that,
goodwill that we've built over. Yeah. Good job, but just
Yeah, do better.
take the feedback. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Okay, on to the show.
Yeah, hey, we're talking about Cops, the policeman today.
Police people.
Police people, yeah. Policemen and women, yeah.
I saw, I was on the cop website actually, because I was doing a bit of research on the New Zealand police, and they're currently running a campaign that is celebrating the females in the force,
Oh, nice.
which is not that many at all.
Politically correct.
Yeah.
That was a terrible pun. But hey, it was cobbled together
I'll
on the
take
spot,
it.
so that's, best I can do. Hey, but as a little aside, you said New Zealand police, just had thought, are we like the only country that make fun of their own accent?
Possibly.
Like, it's such a silly accent that even we can hear it.
I can't really imagine someone, and I could be wrong here, but I can't really imagine someone from the south of America making fun of their own one.
Yeah, no. Although I guess...
Southern drawl.
Now I think of it, and I guess New Zealanders and Australians are similar in so many ways. Australians do kind of go, "Stray cunt," on purpose. So I guess they make fun of their own accent too.
That is a foul sound,
Might be us in Australia,
That
yeah.
is a platypus getting strangled, that one.
Well, you know what it is? I think it's for both Australia and New Zealand, the accent gets worse the more rural you go.
We're off to a good start. Immediately off topic.
Yeah, well, let's get it out of the way, though. Let's get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Because most New Zealanders don't actually talk like this, but it's when you do get out to those country towns. And same with Australia.
Yeah,
Aucklanders and Sydney people sort of sound... It's a very subtle difference.
Do you think that's because they're more or less left to their own devices out there, so it gets kind of more in-house and a little bit inbred, their accent, whereas in the city it's more of a metropolitan melting pot, so they are getting influences from different types of accents. Because go to
Yeah.
Melbourne, real metropolitan of a city, and you go there and their accents actually, I really like the Melbourne accent.
They might watch my other, because I think that's a good theory. Another theory that could be, it might be an and rather than an or. Another factor,
Yeah.
is maybe rural people don't watch as much TV and so forth as city slickers, so they don't get that foreign influence, and they just talk to each other all the time.
I hear that. That's definitely rubbed off on me. The American and the English one.
Yeah.
Purely just from all the TV and film that I consume.
Yeah, absolutely.
Growing
Might
up.
be it as well. But yeah, as you say, let's not cast too broad right off the bat.
Well, we can stay on theme of TV because cop shows.
Yeah.
Police 10-7. Do you watch much of that?
I never watched Border Patrol or Police 10-7 or any of it. No.
Yeah. Well, I think for me it's the kind of show I watch clips of it when they get shared online because there are some fucking brilliant ones. But a full episode is a bit much. But I just because I was thinking about stories with cops and stuff, and one episode that I saw on Police 10-7, one of my favourite ones. There's this guy. He gets rolled by the police. He's been drinking. He's driving. He's with his partner. And he's clearly steamed, and they're going to arrest him. And then just before they arrest him, he opens up the glove box, and I think, oh shit, what's he going to do here? Pull out a gun or something? Pulls out a ring and proceeds to propose to his girlfriend, and she says yes.
And are the police like, yay? Never mind
really.
about that. Yeah, fair enough.
I wish they were like if it was an episode of Glee.
Time and
it
a
would
place,
be.
mate. Time and a place.
Yeah.
Come on.
He got the ring on the finger, and then he got taken away. It was quite a nice moment.
I guess.
Had he not been slurring and sort of dribbling, and
Yeah, sort of a nice moment and a really trashy moment at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's it. It was because he's kind of looking at it. It was quite weird because on one hand you're thinking like, God, we are just pigs in the mud. We are absolute animals. The way he was behaving, but then on the other hand it's like, oh no, but he's despite all that mud and pigginess, he's being romantic and it was. I think that last ditch effort as well, because it's not a lot. Like I'm going away for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe that was that. Maybe first visit she was like, yeah, about that. I mean the cameras are rolling. It was a bit of pressure to be honest.
Oh, yeah, maybe that was the strategy behind it. She can't say no in this.
Yeah.
In this context.
Could be.
I've got another YouTube recommendation for the week.
New feature. YouTube recommendation.
Now, this will probably bore to tears any of our New Zealand and Australian listeners because I'm rehashing a video which I think you've almost certainly seen. It's very, very popular.
Yep.
But for our American and Canadian listeners, which, by the way, according to our SoundCloud stats, there's quite a lot. So,
I don't want to scare them off.
Any Canadians out there listening, just email at castingbroadpodcast@gmail.com and let us know what the fuck are you doing. But I mean, we appreciate you listening. But how on earth did you find this anyway?
Never met a nasty Canadian.
Yeah. So yeah, greetings Edmonton. But our America and Canadian listeners, this might be new to you, and definitely check it out. I'm sure you've seen it, Tom. Just Waiting for a Mate.
Yeah, I knew you were going to go there.
Yeah.
But out of all those ones, that's been my favourite. Quite often, those videos, people show them and then I'm just stone face. There's too much pressure. They're like, because they assume I'm going to laugh. But that one, I did lose my shit watching it.
Yeah, so it's just basically, I think what really tickles people about it is it's sort of the ultimate example of a guy really sticking to his guns in an impossible situation to stick to your guns. There's no way you're going to sell them on this one. This guy had been drinking and driving, and he basically he crashed into a traffic island, was it? Or what did he crash into?
He was in a car park.
Yeah.
And he just clearly been in and drive, and he thought he was in reverse and just went straight through this little bit of concrete.
Right,
and
yeah.
just smashed it apart.
Yeah.
And then just stayed there. Stayed still.
Yeah.
And welcome the cops.
Wait for it to blow over, yeah. So this cop patrol car comes up to him, and the cop comes up to the window, and he just says to the guy, "Hey, what have you been doing, mate? You been drinking?" And he looks out the window. He goes, I'm just waiting for a mate. Just waiting for a mate. He's like, well, yeah, your car's kind of smashed through this concrete, mate. Just waiting for a mate. Just waiting for a mate. There's nothing wrong. Just waiting for a mate. And it just goes on. Well, you say, is it like 5 minutes of that?
And my favourite bit is when he says, "What's your friend's name?" And he's James. And then about 5 minutes later, he asks, "What's your name?" And he just doubles down, James.
hey, technically, you could both be called James.
I know, yeah. But it's just like this guy just could not fucking improvise anything. He could have picked any name and just switched and went with his own.
Absolutely plastered. It's sort of funny us making light of it because driving drunk is not a laughing matter.
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Don't ever do that, please.
But what do you suppose? I mean, that you can't. Yeah, that you can't make that moment not funny.
Yeah.
And I guess the positive thing is it does discourage drunk driving because no one wants to look that fucking stupid.
I'm surprised he didn't, because I imagine with that show there's some kind of consent that they fill out, and it wouldn't. I don't think it'd be legal for them to fill out their consent when they're real plastered. So why was he not blurred out? Why was that guy totally okay with
It's an interesting question.
being on the show and appearing in that light?
Maybe
He thought it was funny too.
yeah, or possibly, perhaps if you break the law and you're caught by the police, it becomes public domain. So maybe it's an exception.
Oh, okay.
Or the other possibility is
Oh
perhaps
shit.
That they contact them the day after, and a lot of people are just so vain that they want to be on TV for any reason.
Yeah, maybe.
Dude, I have an example of that from my own personal life.
Oh.
A guy I used to work with was on one of those shows.
Oh, shit.
He got pulled over for drunk driving.
Yeah.
He wasn't smashed, but he'd had too much.
Yeah.
And it's him, I suppose, in the clip he comes across as well as you can for that sort of thing. He's just saying, yeah, got to take it on the chin. I mean, I got caught and I was doing something wrong, so it happens. You know, suspended license, not happy about it, but it was my fault, blah, blah, blah. But this dude filmed the TV segment of him appearing on TV for drunk driving, uploaded it to his Facebook, and every time he comes on screen, you see his finger into the shot go pointing at him. So yeah, mate, you are on TV. Yeah, you are. I mean, totally not the reason you want to be on TV for, but
That's
it's good to
adorable,
see you taking pleasure in this. Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh man.
Wait, so he was filming it with a camera? It wasn't just a rip-off?
No, it wasn't a
shit.
screen rip.
Oh god, can you hear him like breathing behind the camera?
No, you can't hear him breathing,
Oh,
but you
so-
can see his little finger come into frame and
Yeah.
point to his face when he's on
ETV.
there. Yeah.
Oh man, I would I'd say now if I ever got caught on one of those shows, I'd just no way. I'd be signing any kind of consent form because I become a different person when I'm around police. It's not necessarily a good person. I'm not like fuck the police, like not that kind of thing. But I just I'm
right.
so on edge. I'm never myself. Like even just walking down the street, and I'm doing nothing wrong at all. If I see a police car, I'm just immediately thinking, I hope he doesn't see me breathing. Like
Right.
just any kind of thing that he could possibly get me for, or she.
Yeah.
Or she.
I sort of get that whenever, and this would be a nice transition to my own interaction story with the police.
Yeah.
I get that around sniffer dogs, even when I know I don't have drugs on me. There's
Yeah.
this little moment where I think, ooh, wait, what am I going ooh for? I'd got
Even,
nothing
mate,
to-
I'll do you one better. Even just like civilians who have German Shepherds. I get that feeling.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It could be
'cause
like
it's
an ex-cop dog, and then boom, all of a sudden he's pouncing on you and losing his shit, ripping into your arm.
Although I see them using Dachshunds, Dachshunds, how do you say it, Dachshunds?
Oh.
Sausage
Having a
dogs.
stroke.
I said, well, I just don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm kind of getting self-conscious.
The little the
sausage dogs,
men.
yeah.
Your Dachshunds.
I see them.
I like Dachshunds though.
Yeah, I see them using them at the Christchurch airport a bit.
Really?
Well, they've got a really good scent.
You're not thinking of beagles, are you?
Beagles as well. Yeah, well, there you go, Jinx. But I said beagles as well. I think Dachshunds.
Oh,
Dachshunds?
buddy.
I think they've both got a really because they're hounds.
Yeah.
Hence the hound.
Yeah.
After Dax.
I suppose in a confined area they're going to be righto, just no good at chasing any criminal.
Beagles do probably beat the sausage dogs, though. Yeah.
I just know I've never seen a Dachshund sniffer. Hey, I'm not saying they don't. Not saying they can't do it.
Well, it might be in
It just
Department
seems kind of comical and kind of all kind of demasculating as well for the cop because the German Shepherd. There's a lot of authority with that.
They're also really hard to train, infamously. So maybe I am wrong, but I don't know. I thought I had a picture in my head of seeing them in the
Yeah.
airport.
But you had a story that you were gonna
Yeah. So this is my biggest interaction with police, I guess. And this would be a while ago. I would have been about 20 years old. I was living in Sydney. I was working at this call centre, and this chick gave me, we'll say, a plant-derived substance, which may or may not have been legal at the time, or now. And this is one of the stupidest things I've probably ever done. I just was in no rush to use it.
Yep.
And I used to wear this leather jacket every day, and I just put it in the pocket of the leather jacket. I forgot about it. So I was walking
buddy.
around all day for like probably a week with with pot on me.
Yeah.
And you can guess where this is going. I get off the train one day, and
There's a really cold policeman. He says, "Can I borrow your jacket?" You say, "No worries."
Yeah. But it happened to be a sniffer dog day, and
Oh.
and I had never really been in trouble before with police, so
Yeah.
I was shitting myself when the dog got me and the police officer come up to me, and he just this is where I stopped being really stupid and started playing it really smart.
Oh.
And doing what you're supposed to do, essentially.
Yep.
To the book, to the letter of exactly what you're supposed to do. He goes, "Do you have any substances on you, sir?" And I go, "Yes, sir." And he goes,
Whoa,
yeah,
really?
He's
Holy shit.
He says, "What do you have?" I've got some. Okay, let's look at it. I pull it out, give it to him. And then they go, "Okay, we need to search now." I go, "That's fine, sir." And so I put my arms up. They frisk me. They check my bag, every single pocket you can. And at this point, and this is where the story is interesting, I think.
Yeah.
They were so nice.
Okay.
The police officers were, and when I say so nice, right, we're walking to the car that they have parked out front where they weigh the substance. And the lady police officer starts making small talk with me. And when I say small talk, I don't mean, "So where did you get this from?" No. She's, "Okay, so you're from New Zealand. Oh, okay, how long have you been in Sydney for?" "Oh, really? Oh, you have a comedy. Oh, that's cool." Like, chatting.
Yeah.
And we get to the car where they weigh it, and the guy puts on the scales, and he even sort of comforts me a little bit. He goes, "See, mate, it doesn't even register, and you're not even that much trouble. That's not even that much." And when he said, when he said it doesn't even register, in the back of my mind, I didn't think of saying it, but I thought of the line, "Okay, well then I guess technically I don't have pot on me." to the letter of the law. I mean, it's not legal to have 0.00 grams, right? But no, I didn't say that. But they basically explained to me that it was on the non-record record that only they have. So if I did it 2 more times, then I'd wind up in court. And then if I was
That's cool. I didn't realise there was a mount. I wonder if it's the same here in New Zealand, because that was when you're in Australia, right?
Yeah.
I imagine it probably is similar here.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a thing here, because I've also got a story not too dissimilar to that one, but that was in New Zealand. Maybe there's a thing with Down Under cops. Maybe they're a little bit more chilled out, because it seems globally the song to be singing is "Fuck the police" right now, because there are a lot of fucking things going on in the world that I don't want to get into right now. Cause
I'm going to bookmark that for the end. I do want to talk about that, but yeah.
Put a pin in that one, because I had just 2 weeks ago massively steamed with a buddy from school. Both of us really just really drunk, and I was dubbing him on the bike. And one of us had a helmet. We did have lights, but he didn't have the helmet, and it is illegal to do the dubbing on the road. And again, obviously steamed. Mm-hmm. We went past a cop car, and I thought, "Fuck, here we go. It's going to be a fine. This has happened before." And they just straight away just pull out the notepad and give you the ticket. This time went a little differently, and I don't know what the moment was, but I think he pulled us over. These 2 cops. They started asking us questions. They said, "Have you been drinking tonight?" And again, maybe it's what you did too, is just being honest. And I was like, yeah, I have been. Had quite a few beers at home, just on the way to a friend's house. He just lives a few houses down from here. And then what happened, he's like, "Well, you shouldn't be doing that." And while he was doing that spiel, and it seemed like he was going to give us a ticket, I said, "How's your night going?" And he started talking about his night.
Right.
And then I started leveling with him on the human level. "Oh, man, it's got to be tough, eh? How late are you guys working to?" And then we just started socialising. And then before I know it, he's patting us on the back and we're on the way. And dubbing.
Didn't give you your ticket.
Nah, man.
Nice.
No
Okay.
ticket, no fine.
That's borderline unethical too, because I don't think. I mean, good on him. I'm not having a go, but I don't think you're supposed to selectively enforce the law when you like the person. But yeah, I mean, what you were saying too, how honesty helped you, and when I said that I just said yes, sir, you acted quite surprised. I was going to say though, it is actually stupid, especially in the situation I was in, to not be honest, because they're not going to go, "Oh, okay, then must be the dog's mistake." Yeah, I'm almost certain that if you're on sort of public property and the dog has noted you, they now have probable cause under the law to search you, so they're going to, and then you're obviously going to be in more trouble.
I just think genuinely people who get caught in that corner are going to get scratchy or try to run. Most people who get caught with drugs on them, because again, it's that whole. Most people who have who carry drugs, majority of them, it's a small amount like that. But then those same people don't know the rules. So they don't know, like, they might think that just a little bag of weed is going to be a $20,000 fine because they don't really talk about it, and no one ever really researches. All they know is cops, they don't want you to have drugs, and you want to have the drugs.
By the way, I didn't know. I was pretty terrified.
Yeah.
You know, I thought I might be deported or something.
Oh, shit.
You know?
Man.
But, yeah, nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort.
But I have had other run-ins with cops where they're just kind of, they're just a bit, sometimes... It's that the badge waving and the stuff that's unnecessary, where it's immediately they're no longer keeping you safe, or
they're just throwing their weight around.
Yeah. Well, I've had that just hanging out at a park at night, and there was just hanging out with friends. We weren't even drinking. I think we were on the way home from a party, and we just had to sit down because we were a bit tired, just having a cigarette or something. And then some cops came over with the torches, and what are you lads up to? And it was just immediately that we were going to get kicked out of the park, even though we were doing nothing wrong, perfectly legal to be there. And at that point, when they say, "Yeah, right, well, time to head home, boys," it's like, oh, no. It's not, but you can't fucking say that
because they've got authority.
Yeah, they've decided to. That's now they're going to be their issue, is that we're sitting in this park on our own. So they've decided that that's not okay, and you just have to go with it.
You can write a complaint after the fact, but you can't really defy them there and then.
Nah, man.
Yeah,
not at all.
For me, any negative interaction I've had with cops, and I've had virtually no interactions directly with cops. Bouncers, yes, but the only times, and I really can only think of one at the moment, actually, where it's been unpleasant. It's kind of been because I was being a dick, to be frank.
Yeah.
We're not talking about anything horrible here, but once I sort of went into a bar after I'd been ejected, and it was a silly rule, but rules are rules. It was Christmas, so they shut at 12, and it was just ridiculous. And I just went out to take a pee somewhere. I guess that was really, they didn't see that.
Yeah.
But then it was 1 minute past 12, and the party was still totally going, but the bouncer was like, no, you can't come back. And I was like, well, I was there a second ago. And then I kind of snuck back in, and then a cop got really pissed off at me and threatened to arrest me.
Why did only you get kicked out if there was this whole thing where it ends at 12?
I guess they would have been in the process of emptying it out gradually, I guess.
Okay.
But they weren't really rushing people out, but people would have been gradually shifted out over the next hour, I'm sure.
You sure they weren't just kicking you out? And trying to soften the blow by saying, oh, everything ends at 12? Even though the party's blatantly still going?
It's possible, Tom. It's possible.
Maybe.
We've talked about this, how I had that kind of face.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. But this is irrelevant. That's not very interesting.
Yeah.
We won't go there. But all I'm saying is, sneaking back in obviously wasn't on form.
Well, see, I've had one, and it was just when I was a lot younger. And I was, I don't know, for whatever reason, when you're that age, you just kind of have that ingrained in you, that fuck authority.
Yeah.
And we had, it was the first flat I was in, one of our friends, he brought around a little air rifle, and we're in the backyard just shooting targets, shooting cans and stuff like that. We live next door to a primary school. So someone complained at the school, and at the time I was thinking, come on, what's the big deal? But in hindsight, holy shit, bad idea, shooting a fucking gun next to a primary school. And we were shooting, and then we went back inside, and then we got really high. Which also, it was a day off, we were having like a nice little time. And then because someone had complained, unbeknownst to us, the cops had arrived. So they came and knocked on our window, and what do? You let them in. You're not just going to you can't ignore them. They were looking at the window at us. We're all sitting there just real still, thinking, "Oh shit!" Not realizing it's got anything to do with the gun. Just thinking they smelt pot from the station and came. We thought we were going to get immediately done for that. So I got up, stood in front of the table, and then one of my flatmates grabbed the bong and put it behind a couch. Went round to the door, let the cops in. Immediately, big sort of two tall, massive guys, cross arms, very, very stern. What have you guys been up to? And we're thinking they're talking about weed, and then just being kind of vague and like, just playing video games. I was holding a controller that wasn't even plugged in. It was just fucking stupid. And then they said, you guys been firing a gun? And we're like, oh, yes. Because the gun was in the lounge, can't really deny that at that point.
Yeah.
And then they did this massive lecture about how that's not okay to do that. And just because I was just fucking young and dumb, just didn't look at them the entire time and just looked at the computer screen and just, every time they said, what are you up to? I was like, oh, I'm just playing video games, mate. And just being a snarky little shit.
Yeah.
And then, but the good thing was, and I'm glad it happened, I hated it at the time, but in hindsight, they had the last laugh. Because on the way out, the last thing one of the cops said was like, you know that's on the menu screen, right? Referring to the... it was.
Yeah, he got you.
Yeah, man. And I
Good
fucking
call,
deserved it.
officer.
Yeah.
What did your heart kind of go, oh.
Yeah, I said, yeah, just deflated.
Yeah. I just lost my snarky composure.
Yeah.
It's good. Good on you, officer, wherever you are. Hey, speaking of which, do you think if your friend's sort of in the wrong with a cop, you have a sort of mate code to be on your friend's side?
How wrong are we talking?
Oh, not
Cop
really
killing?
wrong. No. Not like he killed a prostitute or something, but
Yeah.
just sort of that kind of, like the kind of things we've been discussing, right?
Yeah, okay.
Because I was just thinking, man, that time I got ejected from the club, I remember one of my friends was really pissed off at my other friend for laughing at me. He's like, no, this is a bullshit rule. Don't just laugh at Matt because he's in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, go and defend it. And my friend started getting heated with the cop, being
And
like,
then they can get themselves in shit,
going sort of, oh, sorry, it's Jesus' birthday. Oh,
Yeah.
but as he walked away, so he sort of, interesting.
suppose
I mean, he went. I mean, I think my other friend was too far in one direction, and then my friend who stuck up with me was too far in the other direction.
Yeah.
It should be more like, officer, he's not causing a problem, please. Not, oh, I'm sorry, it's Jesus' birthday.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
that's an interesting one. Yeah, who do you?
Well,
side with?
do you do the Dido and say, I will go down with the shit, or do you do the random from recess and just narc on them? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you don't narc. Like, I think having fun with it is too far, but kind of going, this
I
ain't
think
my business, man.
if I was
Interesting, this ain't my business. Is it? Yeah,
from my perspective, if I was doing some stupid shit and the cops got involved, I would want my friends to run or get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, right.
And get away with it. And I wouldn't even mind if we're all standing there doing something real dumb, the cops roll up, and then my friends just do a little pivot and then just stand next to
They
the cops.
leave you, huh?
I wouldn't even care. I'd be
Okay.
like, fair enough. The least amount of us that get punished here, the better, really.
I guess.
But then
Yeah,
I
it's
know
not
other
like-
people would. They have
It's not like more
this
people dilute the punishment.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't really
Yeah,
work
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah,
people
that's
do
fair
act like
logic.
that, because there is that bro code, and it's like immediately it's like, no, we're a front and you don't snitch and all. But
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end of the day, like, I don't know, if I've done something wrong, I've done something wrong. You don't need to also do some shit.
Yeah, true.
You're not going to save me. You're not a fucking lawyer. We're not in court right now, so you don't need to. Yeah.
We were talking about how a lot of young people have a fuck the police mentality, and that our experiences aren't necessarily in line with police being shit. Funnily enough, I often dovetail our topic into my RDU show in the morning, which
Yeah.
just came off. And, I mean, this might be me being not presumptuous and stereotyping the RDU listeners, but I kind of assumed it would be a fuck the police sort of listenership.
Yeah.
Because it's a student radio station. And I gathered stories, just interactions with cops. And I said it can be negative or positive. I'm not trying to push any angle here. I just want interesting stories.
Yeah.
And I got 100% positive.
I wasn't expecting this, eh?
Yeah.
This episode. I knew I had positive interactions. I didn't think you also would. And then even beyond that,
Well, 3.5 positive out of 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe we're just all terrified of bad-mouthing the police because they're listening and they're going to come get us.
Maybe the people who kind of hate the police just can't even be bothered writing. The same people will probably smoke pot all day and... Well, then again, that's me projecting again, I'm sorry.
Well,
that's me stereotyping
What
again,
if
but...
Gary, mate,
Yeah.
have you ever had any run-ins with cops?
Once I stole some donuts.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Donuts, okay. And what happened from that? Was it
well,
from a... It would not have been from a cop's hand.
No, just from a donut shop. I just sort of didn't realise cops were there, but I guess now I think of it...
Hold on. So you were in a bakery or something.
Yeah, it's
and
the
there was
first
cops,
place the cops go.
Yeah, and the cops
They
were
hang
in
out.
store, and you saw a donut.
They were just kind of sitting on the counter and I didn't even look that first, so I thought, no, never mind.
Gary, that's not for you to decide,
I
mate.
already bought a coffee.
It doesn't matter if you bought a coffee, mate. You didn't buy the donuts, did you, mate?
Well, yeah. It was a slap on the wrist kind of thing. Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad overall. The cops were actually quite okay with it.
Yeah, they're alright.
Oh, there you go.
But
Maybe-
police-
Oh, Jesus!
Oh, Gary!
Jesus, mate!
Hey!
God. He
Pushing
got
the agenda.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jesus, Gary.
Snuck it in. Do you want to hear some of these stories?
Yes.
All right. So,
Go on, Natalie.
all right. Here's some I got from the radio this morning. This one, this is a short one. One time, my parents got a noise complaint when they were having a party, but the cops stuck around while they played a few more songs.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Like that, eh?
Cops got a party soon,
And it was
right?
actually was Fuck the Police, actually.
This Saturday
and
as
they
well.
were singing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Real loud.
Okay, I got one. Now this is okay. So one night, a cop stopped me from getting on a flight after I somehow managed to buy a one-way ticket to Sydney, despite having no reason whatsoever to go there. While I was absolutely shit-faced. He confiscated my passport and dropped me home, and rang me the next day. And when I went to the airport police station, they had a good laugh at me while he told me what happened and showed me the camera footage.
Fuck.
Um,
I love that one.
that's-
How does... So he was just drinking, bought the ticket... Maybe he was just at a party that was just fucking bombing, and he's like, "I got to get me out of here."
Yeah, well, he as
I'll
I
get a
said, he
flight.
said
I'm not
he said
gonna taxi home.
he wasn't due to go to Sydney in a couple of days or anything. He just fuck Sydney, and
It's a weird place to land.
and it evidently must have been like incredibly drunk because he says they called him and showed him what happened, so
Yeah.
he didn't even remember going up and trying to
Oh,
fly to
shit.
Sydney. Evidently,
Yeah.
so that's okay. And I got a couple more.
Yep.
if we're all right.
Yeah, mate.
Now this is, so I said there were 3.5 good ones. This is the half. This is sort of not great, I guess, but I think this might be the funniest one to me. This guy says, I used to live in a country town where we had just one local police officer, and he used to pull people over just to have a yarn.
Oh, lonely.
Yeah. Oh, there you
lonely
go.
guy.
I see you around New Zealand. So,
Wait, would he do the sirens and shit? What did they say?
yeah, because he had to pull him over somehow, right?
Oh, God, that is...
How you doing?
That's a sitcom character. Eh?
Yeah. Well, it's in the radio. It sounds like a cartoon.
I feel like there's an episode of Curb in that too, where
Yeah.
Larry gets pulled over just so the guy can have a chat.
Some country towns like they're from another time.
Yeah.
It's not. And also, he says because there was only one cop, he got public holidays off, and they didn't have a budget to get anyone to sub for him on those days. So you could literally get loaded and drive 50 over the speed limit with pretty much 100% certainty nothing would happen.
That is great.
Not that I'd recommend it.
Man,
But-
that cop just, crime stops for Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
No, it
have
doesn't.
have a day off obeying the law.
Mate, we've all seen Home Alone. Crime does not stop around Christmas.
Okay, last one, and this is gold star. This is the best cop in terms of the best cop. It's the best cop story, I think.
Okay.
Okay, and it starts bad. I shouldn't have given away. He ends up being a good guy, actually.
Yeah, you did.
Oh well,
Massive spoiler.
whatever. It's still a good story. All right. I was walking to the local pub with two mates around 7:30 p.m. one night. It was dark. Unmarked cop's car stops next to us and said they needed to frisk search us because there were people around who fit our description, throwing flares into cars to burn them out. I guess fair enough. And they wanted to make sure it wasn't us.
Oh, shit.
So he gloved up, felt us up closely over the pants, and then apologised.
Gloved up.
Gloved up, yeah.
Well, cavity search.
No. It says over the pants.
Oh, why the
Over
gloves?
pants. Interesting. I guess there could still be residual stuff, maybe, off of the flares.
Oh.
Maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what procedure is.
Or he was really thorough.
Anyway, get this. Hours later, we were drunk, stumbling home via the same way, and the same unmarked cop car came up by us and said, "Oh, you're the dudes from before. Here, grab some donuts," and handed us half a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts right when we wanted them the most. The fucking cop, man.
That is awesome, eh?
Yeah, I said on the radio, this sounds like it's just propaganda
Yeah.
for the police, but it's what I asked for stories, that's what I got.
That's fucking awesome, eh?
Yeah.
Because that would be such a nice little turnaround. Just because, again, the cop, you're thinking, oh, fuck, here we go again.
Yeah.
It's just going to be the same thing. And then you get free donuts. You know what? You said that you're worried that you spoiled the story by saying he's a good guy in the end.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if you're watching Harry Potter and right from the first chapter, someone leaned in your ear and said, by the way, Snape's actually okay.
Or a complex guy. Yeah.
Maybe that would ruin it, but that one didn't at all. That was a nice fucking payoff.
Yeah.
The donuts.
Yeah.
A lot of donut stuff. That's the cop
It's,
episode.
it's, it's one of those, it's a correct stereotype.
Yeah, do you reckon it is?
We should do a stereotypes episode one day, actually, now that I think of it. But yeah.
Yep.
Like, no, it is.
Bank that
Like,
one.
they always talk about it. There was
Do
a
cops get free shit?
free shit.
Like
Oh,
when they go to places? Do you think they get free things?
Actually, this is a funny, nice transition to a story I heard on another podcast. And so Ari Shafir, he does sort of a thing like we do. He has a topic each week, but
Yep.
because he's got
Wait,
resources.
you're telling me that there's other podcasts out there who do the exact same thing as we do?
No. It's not the exact same thing.
I don't know Gary.
It's better. Because he has more resources than us, he's able to get someone who specialises in topics all the time.
Okay.
And especially the comedy scene in LA, there's all kinds of comics from all kinds of backgrounds.
Wait,
Anyway,
so
I
you're
digress.
telling me that we're not experts on all the topics we talk about.
Oh, well.
News
it
to me, buddy.
Depends on your definition of expert, Tom. It's a subjective thing. But he had a cop once, and he was saying, tip, if you ever go to you need your fucking certificate stamped or whatever, there's some stuff you can get done in police stations. Maybe it's
That's
different.
detail in the storytelling, bud.
It's a while ago.
You just gave up on that.
Look, come on, all right. Forward.
Yeah.
But he's saying if you want to get to the front of the line or you want to get something done quickly, he's like, seriously, just walk up to the front, say, hey, Mr. Officer, got you some donuts, appreciate the work you do, give him some donuts, boom, right through.
Oh, shit.
You don't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always donuts?
He said donuts. He said donuts. He
What
said,
is that in the cop genetic? They love the donut.
well, money's probably very illegal and you could get in trouble for it, but donuts,
yeah, it's sweet.
it's fine.
That's a nice touch.
It's legal tender in the cop world.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legitimate currency. But I'm sure they get sort of, citizens give them sort of gifts sometimes to sort of stay in the good books, but
Because I'm also sure that they get a lot of nasty looks and just generally vile.
oh no, it's hard out there for a
Vitriolic
cop, no
people.
doubt. Yeah. You'd run into, it can be a dangerous job.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. Should we get into the weeds with the, I want to do it at some point.
The weeds.
For the kind of Black Lives Matter and police brutality stuff, is that maybe a good transition point at the moment?
Okay. Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. With hesitation, I will say yes to that question.
Come on, we can anyway. We shouldn't shy away from things on this podcast. Shouldn't be, cowardly. But Tom,
Sure.
always concerned when everything takes anything like a serious turn.
Just quivering.
But
Go on.
I don't know.
Get the finger on that beeper, Gary, just in case.
So what I'm getting, I think cops do run into a lot of sort of prejudice and, as you say, dirty looks and everything like that because of these big stories that blow up in the news of some really bad footage.
Yep.
And that kind of goes towards the sort of Black Lives Matter stuff in the States at the moment. You're seeing, all these tapes come out. Do you have any thoughts on it?
Some.
Do you
yes.
think, do you think police
have
brutality is a
some,
big issue? Or
some thoughts that there are definitely some bad apples out there.
I agree.
In all occupations.
Yeah.
There are some who abuse their authority and status and use their power for evil.
Yeah. I don't think anyone can disagree with that. And although I think that's true, and there's definitely legitimate cases of some really horrible stuff on tape,
Yep.
I also find with a lot of these ones that blow up, man, I read more about the case and I go, the media was really not representing that quite in a balanced manner, say.
Okay.
So, an example of a really bad one, right? Just to go, I don't go this angle every time. There was one that came out just last week, South Carolina, I think it was. I'm sort of just pulling that out of my ass. But absolutely, totally unwarranted by any measurement. This dude is sitting on his mother's porch waiting for her to get home.
Yeah.
And cops come out, oh yeah, hey, we got a call that suspicious person was sort of outside a house. He's like, oh no, this is my mum. He's really polite. He's like, no sir, no ma'am, da-da-da, all good, just wait for my mum. And he's like, oh, well, I said you were wedging the garage door. He's like, oh no, I'll show you, if it's okay, I'll show you what I was doing. I was just trying to open, and all the reason, like, okay, all right, no worries. And then the woman goes back to the police guy, goes, yeah, I don't know. And with this one, right, they were definitely racially profiling him, and
Yeah.
I'm not saying they were racially profiling him because I just decided that was the case. They literally say, the guy goes, it is mainly a kind of Caucasian and Asian neighborhood, and I'm thinking, dude, have you fucking surveyed every house?
Oh, fuck.
You don't know that. That's
Yeah.
the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And it goes again, like, so that he ends up body slamming the guy, the police officer. Shocking footage, right? So. Yeah, as an example up front, there's no doubt that there's some really horrible shit that happens out there.
Fuck, there is, eh?
But then there's stuff like the Trayvon Martin case, right? Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard about this one?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, this is, really, really bad story. A really tragic event where this, black teenager got shot and died.
Yeah.
After essentially being kind of, I guess, probably wrongfully profiled as up to no good by this neighborhood watch dude.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off watching TV coverage of it, right?
Yeah.
Because you would watch a full hour on it. Sometimes I would watch a full hour and they would cover it and how horrible it was. He got shot and he died. They would never mention that the kid was on top of the neighborhood watch guy slamming the back of his head into concrete repeatedly. I mean, it's a confirmed thing, and often media outlets would just completely ignore that part.
This kid was attacking another person.
So what? Yes.
Before he was shot.
Yeah. So what happened is he was in the neighborhood because his dad lived there, and he was walking around. And this guy George Zimmerman, who is a neighborhood watch guy,
Yeah.
was driving around in his car, and there'd been a few robberies there recently, I think. And so he calls the police.
Yeah.
And he says, hey, there's kind of suspicious guy walking around, da-da-da. They go, okay, yeah, just this, and then he goes, oh, God, I'm so fucking sick of these punks. And they say, okay, don't get out of your car and pursue him, but he does anyway, right? So this guy's acting like a moron, okay? Now, after that, we don't, and in between the next part, we don't know exactly what happened. That's the one area where the chronology is sort of empty, but the next, I guess, confirmed thing we definitely do know is that somehow they end up in a tussle.
Yeah.
And that the kid ends up on top of the guy and is smashing his head in the back of concrete. And so the guy pulls out his gun and shoots the kid in the chest, and the kid dies.
The neighborhood watch guy shoots him.
Yeah. We don't know which one struck first. I think there is decent evidence that the kid was the first to go, hey, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Based on phone calls he made and everything. But it's not totally confirmed.
Well, it's a hard one to weigh in because, like you say, there's that black spot where you don't know what's happening in the story, and then there's also the fact that if it has been proven that this kid was on top of him, slamming his head into concrete, that's no longer self-defense. That's like an attack as opposed to defense.
Yeah, and you'd have reason to fear for your life.
Yeah,
I mean, brain injury is no light thing if he just keeps going.
These things are so fucking complicated as well, because you hear the no matter how many different people tell you the story. I've done jury duty before, and that one, it seemed like a bloody clear cut case when you went in there and you saw the guy and yeah, he's guilty.
Right. Yeah.
And then they break down the story and you get his side of the story and then the victim's side of the story, and it's just, and the amount of fucking small details that are massively significant in terms of the entire story and patching it all together. That's why I'm struggling right now to even weigh in on this, because there is that black spot there.
And that's why, I mean,
who fucking knows what went down in that moment?
I'm all for admitting that it's a really complicated one.
Yeah.
It's just the way it was treated.
Yeah.
Especially from the left media, because I think more media outlets are tilted to the left, but totally from right wing media as well.
Yeah,
both sides weren't treating it like a complicated case.
Yeah,
one side was treating it as like he was an absolute criminal, degenerate punk, and the other side was just he was absolutely victimized. This guy was out hunting for blacks, and as I said, I watched a whole hour of Lawrence O'Donnell covering that story. A whole hour was dedicated to it, and you didn't hear that very important part of the case from that whole thing. I've spoken to multiple people,
and that had been confirmed at that time.
Yes,
that's what happened.
It's forensically confirmed.
Yeah,
as much as it can be without there being a literal tape.
Yeah.
It's the prosecution did not try to dispute it, and they were a very aggressive prosecution.
I suppose for the current climate, that just wasn't the popular story to tell.
Well,
it's kind of worrying when
and that's no excuse at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had multiple conversations with people who have been interested in the case, have read enough about it to form an opinion on it, and then I've brought that up, and they've literally looked at me like, what? Did that happen? What? I'd never heard that before. It's ridiculous that you
It's
don't
certainly
know
not-
that part.
Certainly not the first time, and
Yeah.
news outlets, kept a little detail to themselves.
Yeah. So, I guess that's what I wanted to say. I think and it's not the only case where you read more about it and then you find it wasn't as cut and dry as I initially thought. And I'm saying it's complicated like you are. I'm not saying that there's absolutely no issues with racial profiling and police brutality, but I'm also not saying cops are just out to beat blacks and that's really what they get into it for. And it's just open season.
I think
in
most
the
people
States.
would definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Certainly, man. Again, it's that bad apple thing. There's just a few fuckers who, and that goes with all, as I said earlier, all occupations, all walks of life. There's just one. Even take a swimming team. There's going to be one wanker in the pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's an apt analogy.
Always when shit like that comes up on the podcast, I do get very hesitant and worried that we're going to say something that could put us in a bad light, but we'll say good on you for not only doing the research in that, just when you watch the news, because the amount of people who just watch the news and just think, so that's okay, I'll take your word for it, buddy, because they got those lovely smiley men and women sitting behind the desk in their nice little suits or the authority figures, and they just take it for read. Not many people would then go and actually research a story.
It does suck that is really encouraged in news media too.
Yeah.
That sort of just tell them what they want to hear. Or the worst of that in New Zealand is a guy called Mike Hosking.
Yeah.
I say a guy called, obviously and all our New Zealanders listeners know, but we have international people.
Yeah.
Now this guy, a lot of people more on the left hate him for partisan reasons, as well as maybe other things too. I don't mean to be dismissive like that. I'm not really, I guess I describe myself as right of centre, but I hate him just because of that exact thing where his whole gig is, I really believe this, and I don't have to back this up with any sort of evidence or just me saying it is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I am not exaggerating. That is, you listen to a clip of him. For instance, when the Panama Papers happened, and New Zealand was found to be one of the kind of offshore account places thing. That was a terrible sentence. But he... I heard a clip of him where he literally just goes, you know what, I really don't think this is anything to worry about. Just the media hyping up things as usual, and we should just go about our day and not worry about it. That's been my 2 cents.
And that's fucked up.
That's not a point, man.
He gets massive ratings as well. So there's a lot of people sitting at home and either hating him, but then there's also about half of them are thinking, fuck yeah, I'm on your side, buddy.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's just buzzwords, or the common sense politics is one that he always drops. It's just common sense politics.
Just common sense.
Yeah.
Well, it's common sense. Common sense is not even thinking about it and just, this is what my gut says. Because what he said about the Panama Papers is then, right, it's not even that I disagree, because I don't even know that much about it. He might be right, just for argument's sake, that it's not that big of a deal and it is being overhyped. But you have to explain why that is.
Yeah,
you
know
can't
what
just
he's fucking
say...
doing is he's getting paid a lot of money to just constantly present the because I said so argument.
Yeah.
And even when I was like 8 years old, my parents would say that. Even then, I'd be thinking, no, you can't. No, explain yourself, sir.
Yeah. Well, there's one point I've always had is that life's not fair is a answer that we only expect children to take.
Life's not fair.
People talk about fairness all the time. Like almost everyone thinks something being unfair is a perfectly reasonable objection to have something. That is not just. Well, whatever. That's not what adults are expected to take as.
I think at some point we're gonna have to have a parenting episode.
Yeah. Despite neither of us being parents ourselves. But hey, we don't know how long this podcast is going to run. Maybe one of us will be by the time we bring it up.
This is true.
Yeah.
I could be pregnant right now for all we know. On that, should we roll into the lightning round?
Hey, I am ready when you are, and I believe you are hitting me first this week. Is that correct?
Well, we need to address something too. Well, getting into the lightning round.
Lightning struck last week.
Lightning struck again.
Yeah.
So I have to lose another finger. But...
Okay.
something happened this week. I pulled out the parchment, and have you ever noticed that
you got
really...
the parchment on you?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, yeah.
I noticed some very, very fine print.
Oh, right.
at the bottom of this. So if you,
I didn't have a magnifying glass the first time.
well, I've thought of this. Here's one here. There you go.
All right, okay.
So if you just read that little section at the bottom and read into the microphone what that says. Gary, are you listening?
4.2.
Yeah, listen up, buddy.
Doesn't really concern me, does it?
I don't know, does it?
Well, just give
Well,
it a read.
I'll find
Give it a
out. Okay. At one point during the entirety of a lightning round run, i.e., out of 20 total lightning strikes, each host is able to, at one point, nominate a substitute to take their place for punishment. Mm-hmm. Substitutes can vary, or substitutes are restricted to producer/producers of podcasts.
Yep.
Which in this case, that'd be Gary.
Yeah. So, did you catch all that, Gary?
What? No. Hold on. I didn't sign anything.
Well, neither do we, but
Yeah, I mean the rules are the rules.
Yeah.
Don't shoot the messenger.
you've seen the parchment, mate. It's official.
So you're nominating
Gary.
Oh, okay.
We're going to chop one of his fingers off this week.
I don't want to do this.
Well, no one wants to have their finger chopped off,
Yeah,
Gary.
Come on, Gary. It's quick. It's quick
Yeah.
quick and actually relatively painless.
But Tom passed out last time.
Well, if you pass out,
Are
Gary.
you going to choose the middle finger?
Oh,
Yeah. Which finger, Gary?
no.
Well, smart move. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. You won't pass
Okay,
out. You
so
don't
just-
choose
just-
that's science, people. It's science.
So just Gary, just jump down on your knees there, bud. Yep, that's it. And pop your hand up on the table.
There you go. And you're choosing. Oh, you're choosing the index. That was my.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, that was my choice. Actually,
Yeah.
I believe I chose. I chose the. Oh no, actually, I went with ring finger. Actually,
Now, Gary, I have a selection of knives here, so I want you to choose which one you like. I've got the classic, the cleaver that I used to chop off Lil Matthew's hand, or his finger, sorry.
Yeah.
There's your classic steak knife, your serrated. There is your Swiss Army knife,
Oh, I don't want that one.
and then the last one I've got a fish fillet knife.
I think the cleaver's probably the cleanest one.
Okay.
That's the way I would go, Gary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a bad option. So we'll just do this, I guess.
Oh, yep.
Do you want to do the honest man, or should I?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm already standing up. So I
Okay.
may as well do it.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right, Gary. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that really hurts. That really hurts.
Joey's going on about it, isn't he?
Oh, jeez. Oh.
All right, thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. Try not to get too much blood on the mixing desk, mate. There we go.
Yeah. All right. He looks in a bit of a way, but I think it'll be all right.
A little bit pale.
Yeah.
He's wavering a little bit, but I think he'll be right.
And hey, a job's a job, mate.
Yeah.
You gotta.
There's almost nice poetry to it as well. All three of us just having 9 fingers together. You know?
Yeah.
Something about that. When
until
we go one, we go
until
all.
lightning strikes again.
This is true.
On that note,
Lightning.
lightning. Get fucking ready! Roar! Feet to the fire!
Question number 1. Of the cliche stripper outfits, how does the sexy cop outfit rank for you?
Ooh, I would say it's just below nurse. It's probably number 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question number 2. Should cops have guns?
Yes, but I don't think they should be on them. We've got a good system in New Zealand where the gun stays in the compartment. Although it's difficult for America because a lot of citizens have guns. So I think that I think our system works here. I think their system is probably the most appropriate over there.
Diplomatic answer.
Okay. Yep.
Question number 3. You've been appointed police chief in Christchurch. What is
Hey.
your first order of business?
Legalize cannabis. Well, I can't do that, but I would
Push for
immediately stop enforcement of
Love it.
cannabis laws by police.
Question number 4. You're given 24 hours where you have complete immunity from all law enforcement. What do you do with your day?
Tom. Lightning in a bottle! Yeah, okay.
Oh, buddy.
Look, I would just, I don't want to murder anyone, so I guess I would just
Oh, that's good of
shoplift.
you.
I would just shoplift a lot. Ooh, if there's a way to rob a bank without being violent, I might see if there's any way I can do that. I'd look into it, but if not, I would just pick a lot of stuff off the shelves, steal electronics. I guess, does it mean, because I didn't clarify this in my question, right? So I guess I may as well get you to clarify this for
Yep.
me. Does this mean that also workers at Harvey Norman can't do shit?
Oh no, they can.
Yeah, okay. So
They can.
it would be small things then. It would be things that no one else would see. It would be like Google Chromes all over the place, and, little iPod touches and stuff that I can put in a bag.
Yeah.
And then I would just sprint it, and obviously they'd call the cops, but yeah, that's what I do.
So you're fine for that day, but then day 2 rolls around. Ooh.
What?
Well, you've only got 24 hours immunity.
No, but you're immune.
So if you get caught for that day, so if you get caught on camera, the following day you can get done.
Well, I wouldn't do anything with the privilege then. I just
still would.
assumed you'd be totally immune.
Nah, you just wear a mask.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, we're.
See, for mine, it would be.
No, but
I
they're
guess
still.
so.
If there's any way they eventually do find a way to track it back to you, then it's like the same as normal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why not use a mask today? If you're not, because you get away in time.
It's the fear though of getting caught in the moment, I guess.
Yeah.
Because that gives you 24 hours to get away.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lightning round slowing down. Okay, come on, boom. Let's get back on to that. Was your last one, right?
Yep.
What's your
That's it,
answer
buddy.
to that one?
I'll do a lot. It would be a lot of shoplifting actually as well, to be honest.
Yeah, okay.
Just again in the mask, get a little. What are the overalls?
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of fun times mask. And yeah, just deck out my parents' house. Get a nice
Okay.
sweet TV. They're still
Yeah, sweet.
running one of those rare projection.
So how would you
TVs.
get the TV? Because the people in the store can still fuck with you.
Yeah, I think I got legs and I can run fast enough. You catch them off by surprise.
pretty strong.
You've been to Harvey Norman. A lot of those guys are carrying around a lot of weight, a lot of
Yeah.
spare tyres there.
So you reckon you got the strength
And there's
to run
also
with
one
the
guy
TV?
particularly at Harvey Norman that I really want to just because I went in there quite a little while ago to buy a laptop, and I wanted to use my StudyLink money. And he said, "No, it doesn't count because it's not official income, even though it's $180."
That voice
every
sounds
week."
familiar. It was Gary's brother working at Harvey
It
Norman.
could have been.
Yeah, okay.
Could have been, but oh my god! And he just would not budge. And then so just went in the next day, talked to someone else, and then yeah, that's fine. We'll put the process through. No, put the payment through. No worries at all.
Okay.
So that's one when you
Yeah, I know those kind of workers.
steal the glasses off his face.
Customer service should be a whole other episode.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom, get ready. Questions that haven't been answered yet. You have to perform a citizen's arrest, but naturally you don't have handcuffs. How do you apprehend the perp?
Sucker punch.
Okay.
I have no shame in saying that. Just creeping up behind them and playing them in the back of the head.
When do you decide I've got the authority to perform a citizen's arrest? Because I can imagine that really going backward. You call the cops, I perform a
Oh,
citizen's arrest
fuck yeah.
to say, dude, you didn't have the right to sucker punch him in the face.
Yeah.
I was just trying to help you out, buddy. Okay, all right, cool. Sucker punch. Tom, what is your strategy for escaping in a high-speed police chase?
Oh fuck. Okay, it's gonna have to be. Oh shit! This is gonna be hard because it's gonna be in a car, but I've got driver at all.
Right.
So it's gonna be that you elbow the window,
Yep.
you press triangle, and then you get into the car.
Every triangle. Right.
And then I guess I'll
You're
try to
fucked, buddy.
hotwire it. I would try to hotwire it, but I wouldn't know how to do that, so I'll be reflecting on
No,
something
you're
I've
getting
seen
away.
on TV.
No. Sorry, let me clarify. You're both in the car.
I feel like I actually do need to get
the
away.
police are chasing you.
Yeah.
All right, so that's done. You're
I'm already in the car.
What's your strategy? What's your technique for getting rid of these guys?
Channeling Dukes of Hazzard. Just go off-road, I think, as soon as I
Right.
can. And hit as many ramps as I can. Because what TV has taught us is if you go off enough ramps, the cops will eventually just barrel roll and you'll get away.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense because you'd assume the police would have way more practice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Too much time eating donuts, not enough time behind the wheel.
Final question: should we legalize all drugs?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Do you feel
Do you want me to say which ones I
care to
think
elaborate?
should not be legalised?
Yeah, go ahead. We're wrapping up. Let's take some time.
Meth and heroin.
Okay.
Everything else I think is okay, but meth and heroin, yeah.
It's a reasonable standard, but I think we can have a debate over whether the pros and cons and how much do we actually gain from criminalising them. But that's for, I think, another podcast, Tom.
Entire another episode.
It's been a good one. I think good energy this week.
Yeah, I
But-
wasn't depressed,
Yeah.
which helps.
All right.
Helps on the mic.
Thanks for tuning in. And
Before we go, can we sing the song again? 'Cause
I
like
think it was a
that.
good song this week.
Yeah.
Let's bring him to a close.
Let's do the whole thing together, bud.
All right. Oh,
Right,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1. Every pod you cast, every yarn you spin, every episode that Gary's involved, I'll be casting broad.
And again, oh, gee, he has fallen over. He has gone. Gary.
Back alley doctor.
Yeah, let's take him back.
All right.
Okay, I'll call him up. Okay. Jesus. Oh, we probably. I'm feeling bad now.